Alrighty, good day everyone. Welcome to Wysol's Wisdom. My name is Nathan and today I wanted to talk about my Kambo experience. So, Kambo is a toad from the Amazonian rainforest that shamans use to collect a secretion. I forgot what it's called. I'll probably write it in. That is essentially poison. Now this poison does a kind of a mind, body and soul detox. Okay, it allows you to break free from, well, it helps you, it doesn't allow you to, it helps you to break free from addictions, mental trauma, emotional trauma, a lot of things actually. So this ceremony happened on Sunday the 17th, which was a few days ago after recording this. I will add some pictures. I wasn't able to record the ceremony because the guy leading it said that you recording it is going to be a bit of a distraction for myself and most likely for others as well. So it was pretty best not to record the actual ceremony. But there are pictures that one of the other people that were leading the ceremony did take, and I'll show you those while I'm speaking about my experience. So before the ceremony started, I got there, and for some reason I started to cough. It seemed like there was a blockage in my throat chakra. Now I believe that is because of kind of smoking cigarettes, which I feel like it was, because I've got a past history with cigarettes. I kind of grew up in a family that smoked cigarettes. I actually wanted to roll my dad's cigarettes when I was like 6-7 years old or something stupid like that. Don't ask me why. It was just something I did when I was younger. Okay, I was introduced to kind of smoking from an early age, and I've been around cigarettes literally my whole life. My mum, like I used to go to school where my mum works, and she would smoke in the car constantly while I'm there. Even while I'm going to football training, football practice, football matches, she's smoking in the car. She didn't really give a shit about my health, to be honest with you. That is based on her past experiences, but I'm not going to talk about that. So I started coughing before the ceremony, which told me that there was a blockage within my throat chakra. My throat chakra isn't blocked, but there was a blockage. Like, I'm very okay with speaking my opinion, voicing my opinion, and speaking out loud, speaking in front of people without being kind of nervous about it. Like, I'm very good at talking to people, talking to strangers even. But prior to the Kambo toad, what we did was something called Rapé, which is kind of known as shaman snuff, which is, I've got some on me right now. I did a little trade with the person leading the ceremony for some crystals, a piece of moldavite pendant. I got 3 different shaman snuff. This one's Nukini. I think he said this was the weakest one. I can't really remember. But yeah, Nukini, and this is the little thing that you put it in. I'm not going to do it now because I've already done some a little bit ago, but you put this bit in your nose and you blow into this bit, like so. Oh, there's still some in there. Aye. But yeah, that's how they do it. This is how you do it personally. When they did it for us, they got us to say what chakra we feel like has a blockage, and I felt like actually have felt like 2 were a bit blocked at the time. And funnily enough, I'll speak about this in a second actually. Yeah, the throat, and kind of I was feeling less creative lately, and I think that's been due to like the past weeks where I've been focusing my attention on something else. And I've not been focusing on myself, so I've kind of had a bit of creative blockages. But what they did was they basically they asked it like, which one did you want, the strongest or the lighter one? Few people went for the lighter one. I basically said is there any issues with going for the strongest one for the first time? And they're like, no, not really. So I went for the strongest one. Different shaman snuff has different energies associated to them. So some are more feminine, some are masculine and feminine. I'm not sure if there's a fully masculine one. Off the top of my head, ones that I have been given, I'm pretty sure it's 2 feminine and a masculine and feminine. I don't think there's a fully masculine one. I'm not too sure. But they basically got you, they blew it into your nose and they got you to breathe out of your mouth. Okay, in and out through your mouth, because if you breathe in through your nose while breathing that in, it is kind of sickly, to be honest, if you're not used to it. And it has a very strange taste in it after, to say the least. But yeah, they blew it into your nose, and they got you to breathe in through your mouth, in and out through your mouth, while the process was happening. And while that process was happening, what the main shaman was doing, he was focusing his energy onto certain chakras. So firstly, it was my throat. And then, shit you not, this guy seems to know what he's doing, because he targeted the other one that I thought I had a slight blockage with, which was like the sacral solar plexus area. He literally, after he went to the throat, he went straight to that one. I was like, but he has experience. He trained in Peru. So this ceremony was actually based in England. I'm very surprised that these type of things are in England, because they also do ayahuasca ceremonies. Which is really good, because I've been wanting to do ayahuasca ceremony for a very long time, but then getting a flight to the country and then paying for the ceremony, except that that's a lot of money. And I'm very grateful to come into contact with these people that do these ceremonies. But well, yeah, let's get back to it. They were clearing, they were focusing their energy to clear certain chakras out. Okay, now the Rapé is probably the most grounding substance I've ever tried. Prior to doing this, they were cleansing, they were making the area a sacred space. So they were using, I'm pretty sure they used some resin, they used sage, stuff like that. Off the top of my head, they made the sacred space first, and then they started the Rapé, and then it went into the Kambo toad, and then into Sananga, which is an eye drop, which I'll explain in a little bit. But the Rapé is incredibly grounding. So for people that do meditate, sometimes within meditation, sometimes your mind, when you close your eyes, it seems cloudy. Like it seems like there's cloudy waves kind of moving about in your head. Okay, right now it's very clear because I've done some Rapé. But prior to using Rapé, it was very foggy. I was in a very foggy state. Even though prior to going to the ceremony, I've done my lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, which includes the Kabbalistic cross twice, which is a very grounding, energetic centering practice. Again, still getting to the ceremony, I was still in a bit of a foggy mindset. I don't know if it was because of getting into the ceremony. I'm not too sure why I was a bit ungrounded. But I'm typically a very grounded person. But then I noticed with the Rapé stuff, that shit you know, everything was clear. Everything was so clear. Meditation was very peaceful as well. Not like meditation isn't peaceful, but it was very, like very, very, very grounded. Like so grounded that things were not foggy. Things were clear. My direction was clear. Why I was there was clear. It is the most grounding substance I've ever tried. And again, the people leading it, the shamans leading it, knew what energy centers to target external to what you told them to. Again, he focused on my throat because I said I feel my throat slightly blocked. And then straight after, he went to the other one that I was thinking of. It was either this or my throat. and he went straight to it. I was like, whoa. And then I felt energy clear from that. So that was Rapé. Again, that is the most grounding substance I've tried. Like I've smoked cannabis before. I wouldn't say cannabis is as grounding as that. Cannabis is kind of grounding in a way, but nowhere near to sniffing that stuff. But after that, there was kind of the Kambo toad preparation. Okay, so what they did, I'm gonna take my jacket off to kind of show you, was burn a set of marks into you so your skin, so the underskin can be exposed. So just take a sleeve off. I got 5 dots, depending on if you've done it before. They may do it in different places. What they asked was, as well, prior to that, was, for me it was, the guy spoke about targeting like traumas, emotional trauma and stuff, and I like family trauma, so parental trauma, and I said, well, it's mother and father. It's both, to be honest with you. And then he said, well, which one is in the past? Let's target the past. And the past, in my mind at the time, was my father. So they put it on the right hemisphere. Now, I'm recording with my phone screen facing me, so this is my right side, this is my left side, okay? For you, you're looking at it, that's my right side. You might be looking at it a different way. But anyway, they put holes into you. Some people got it on their neck. Some people, one woman got it on her lower back. I can't remember why. That's personal for her. I don't know. I don't really know why, actually. But I'm pretty sure one guy that has done it before got it on his upper neck, I think. And then everyone else got it on their shoulder. So I got 5 here. And to be honest, I kind of want that tattooed on me. I think it looks dope. But yeah, they burn holes into you using kind of a wood. They light some wood, and then they tell you to take a deep breath in. Burp. Take a deep breath in. Burns you. They rub the skin off. And they do that X amount of times. The amount of holes you get means you would be getting a certain amount of the paste, the toad paste. So obviously if you have more holes, you're going to get more of the paste into your bloodstream. If you have less holes, you'll get less of the paste into your bloodstream. Okay, so I got 5. They said 4 to 7 is the kind of the first time average. So these are 5. I don't know whether they're big or small holes. I don't really know. But yeah, I got 5. Funnily enough, 5 is my life path number. Interesting. I didn't ask why they gave me 5, actually. Don't know. But yeah, they placed it on the right side to target the past life trauma from my father, which was based on kind of him leaving at an early age, and me not knowing why he left at an early age. But after the paste was applied, again, I'm going to put pictures of what's happening in the video at the same time, because they did take pictures. I've only got a handful of myself. I'm not going to put pictures of the other people, just because I don't know if they want me to. But yeah, I'll put pictures of the ones that I've got on myself. But after they put the paste on, I actually sat there. I was like, because some people it affected them really quick. Like, pretty sure the guy next to my left, it hit him in like really quickly. And I was sitting there like in a meditative position, like, okay, is this gonna hit me? I was like, is this gonna work on me? I don't know. I can't remember how long it took to like hit me, but it hit me like a brick. Funnily enough though, a lot of it went to my left side, so the left hemisphere, the mother. Looking back now, this is actually due to my mother being the cause of the trauma for my father. After my father died, I found out that my mum was the one that cheated on my dad, that made them split up and kind of leave each other. I never knew this until my father died. No one told me. My mum didn't tell me, my sisters didn't tell me, my brother didn't tell me. No one told me until my dad died that it was because of my mother. Which is why I think it all rushed from my right side down. Like, I felt my right hand like going mad. No, my left hand, sorry, going crazy. Like, I was just like, whoa, I feel it in my left hand so much. And then after I started feeling it in my left hand, that's when I started kind of feeling it in, not all of it in my body, but I started to feel a lot different. And then I started feeling nauseous, and I started to throw up. Okay, now during Kambo sessions, you're either gonna throw up a lot. They already said that it's either gonna come out your mouth or out your ass. Thank fuck it didn't come out my ass. Thank fuck it didn't come out of anyone's ass anyway, because it'll start stinking of shit in the ceremony. But yeah, it hit my left side like a brick. And I realised through the Kambo ceremony that it was, because I knew anyway prior to the Kambo ceremony that my mum cheated on my dad, which caused them to split up. But like, I didn't think about that being like the reason of the past trauma and stuff like that. The Kambo obviously knew that was the case, because it targeted my left hemisphere. And during the kind of process, you throw up a lot. Your body, it detoxes you of crap that's in your system, like physically, emotionally. So after you profusely like throw up a lot, it seems like everyone just wants to lay down. Because I was like, after I thrown up, I was like, what's everyone else doing? I was looking around. I've got a picture of me looking like a toad, which I'll post as well. I was like, oh, everyone's laying down, I'll lay down as well. So I just started to lay down, and Matt, one of the guys, put his jacket over me because I was shivering. Like, shivering is a symptom of taking a Kambo. I was shivering loads. I just wanted to lay down. I was like, oh god. I actually, at one point, like when it started, like when I was throwing up loads, because I don't really like throwing up on an empty stomach, I was like, shit, I kind of regret doing this a lot right now. But in my head, like, I know there's going to be a relief and a release after. Yeah, I really hate throwing up with an empty stomach, but it's worth it. Kambo Toad is worth it because you release so much that you didn't think you had inside of you. It kind of looks at your kind of shadow aspects, in a way that it allows you to release certain things that you've been holding on to. So certain ideas that you've been holding on to, and thoughts about certain people and places, etc., etc. So while I was laying down and like trying to sleep, I didn't really sleep because my kind of stomach was kind of achy. I was spitting a lot, and I think that was based on the smoking. Like, a lot of mucus was coming out, and I think that was because of the smoking. And while I was kind of laying down, I was like, in my head, I was forgiving my dad a lot. I wasn't really forgiving my mum, to be honest. Maybe I need to do it again to help release that. But it was allowing me to connect dots as to why I thought the past trauma was based on my dad, but it was because of my mother. Mum, she never told me until I don't even think she told me it. I think it was my sister that told me that, yeah, Mum cheated on Dad. I was like, what? And before that, I didn't really put me in a bad place, but it did make me really see my mother in a very negative light. I was like, so you're the cause of all of this, really? But yeah, it made me release a lot of things and negative thoughts about my dad that I had. Again, I've released partial of it before, but I've still held on to certain things related to him from the past. But then it did kind of put me in a negative light towards my mum slightly, because it did made me focus on her and realize that, wait, all of this past trauma is her, not him. And to be fair, that's why not like I've got a fear of women. I've always worried about getting too close to certain women, because like getting in relationships and stuff, because of that, because I only found out like 3 years ago that it was my mum, or 4 years ago, that caused it. So I'm like, well, fuck, if she's the one that's cheating on my dad, like, what's stopping my future partner cheating on me? Which, funnily enough, I was dating someone like a month ago now, just over a month ago. Now I don't have a confirmation that she cheated, but I read tarot cards and I'm very in tune, you could say a psychic medium. And yeah, we were kind of dating. Slept with each other a few times. It seems like she says that she had emotion and a deep connection. But she said that I wasn't career and money driven when she buys off my Etsy store, which is laughable. I have an abundance of money flowing to me now that I've let her go. She seems like a gold digger, to be honest, that's kind of into money and sex. Because I was like, I don't think we should sleep with each other on the first date. And she was like, oh, I don't mind. And I should have seen some red flags, to be honest. But yeah, she seemed very sex and money driven, which is very low vibrational, looking at it now. But yeah, I've got a weird thing with women. I've always respected them because I've lived with women all my life. Like, I've known not to treat them poorly. I've never attempted to treat women poorly. Like, I've never been the type to sleep around. That's just not me. I did in university. I had fun in university, essentially, but I didn't sort of like, I was being what people call a fuckboy and playing with women's emotions, like saying, oh yeah, I'm into you, but secretly I just wanted to sleep with them. No. In my case, that's always actually been women around me. They're like, yeah, I'm into you, but it seems like they just want to sleep with me. But that was the Kambo. The Kambo made me realise that I've got a lot of shit that I need to let go of, to be honest. I've got a lot of things that I need to release. You say to not be judgmental of others, because others are yourself and reflections of yourself. But sometimes it's not your perception of things. Sometimes people are just dicks, to be honest. Yeah. After the Kambo, though. So the Kambo kind of, it makes you throw up. It makes you release a lot. And it makes you look like a toad. It kind of puts like a little lump in your throat sometimes. I'm just going to arrange my legs a bit different. It makes you look like a toad. The Kambo, for me personally, was not the worst part of the ceremony. So after the Kambo, they actually started singing. The two guys started. One guy, I think they made the song together. One of them was playing the guitar and one of them was singing. Beautiful music. I just sat there, I was just smiling. And at the time, it felt like my dad was with me. Like in my head, I was like, my dad's here right now. Like intuitively, I was like, he's here right now. And I think that was maybe helping me realize that none of this past trauma was my dad's fault. It was all based on my mum and her perspective on things. And the fact that she never told me that it was her that cheated on him in the first place, to be honest with you. Yeah. So they started singing. They kind of wound us down, wound us back into reality through music, which was really nice. Honestly, the song that they were singing was beautiful. I started singing it in my head near the end because I kind of got the lyrics. I can't remember them right now, but it was really good. It was kind of, I think it was Spanish. I think he was singing in Spanish. But that was really nice. After the Kambo toad, we did something called Sananga. I think it's called Sananga. I might be pronouncing it wrong. But it is an eye drop. This was the worst thing for me. So I'm getting like pins and needles in my leg. 1 second. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. The eye drop was the worst thing for me. It's like, they kind of warned us. They said like, look, the eye drops are like having peppers in your eyes. I shit you not, it's like having peppers in your eyes for like 5 minutes straight. Fucking hell. That was the worst part. Sorry about swearing, I swear a lot. Grew up in a rough area, swear a lot. But the eye drops were worse. But what they kept telling you to remember, it's kind of like Morpheus in the Matrix. That pain doesn't exist. Okay, just breathe. The pain is just your brain sending in signals. It doesn't really exist. Is it pain you're really feeling? No, not really. It's temporary. Pain is typically temporary. Pain makes you grow as well. You can look at this to exercising. When you exercise, I like to call exercise self-harm, because it is self-harm. You are ripping and tearing muscles. You're causing pain to yourself to feel better, to look better, to function better. So that's what that eye drops essentially do. It apparently makes your eyesight better, and I can slightly vouch for this, because after it, things did seem a bit clearer. Now I am supposed to wear glasses for short-sightedness, but I don't, because I don't want to make my eyes rely on glasses to see, because if you keep wearing glasses you need another prescription every couple of years, because your eyes are actually getting worse, because it's adapted to magnifying glasses essentially. So I don't wear glasses, but I did notice that I was able to read from what it seemed like a little bit further distances. Like I was reading like a license plate that was nearby. I was reading some stuff that was like a road sign. I was like, I can read that. It's pretty far away and I can read it. Now I don't remember the distance that I can read at prior to this, unfortunately, but it did seem like it does do something for the eyes. Now the combination of all three of these is very profound. It is a very big kind of emotional release, physical release, and spiritual release. It makes you feel better about yourself that you've actually gone through that, because it is a hard thing to do, to be honest with you. I don't think people in my family would want to go through that whole thing. It does take strength, like inner strength, inner determination to one, get there, because they were actually kind of talking about how like 4 or 5 people dropped out like a few days prior to it. And you could, yeah, they're talking about how it is the ego that says, oh, I can't do this now, I can't do it then, I don't want to do it. There's a fear behind it. You're getting poisoned, you might die. Like, you fill out a medical form for doing it. Like, filling out a medical form before doing like a ceremony, people were like, why am I filling out a medical form? That might have instilled some fear into people, because like they dropped out after being sent the medical forms, stuff like that. So that could have been a reason. I don't know. I'm not them. I don't know what's going through their head. But it was a very empowering ceremony to participate in. That is for sure. I will probably do it. It's not something that I personally would do like every month, mainly because of the eye drops. But I would definitely do that again, because I do feel like there is more things that I need to release personally, and I think that it can help. Not just like emotional things, but like physical things. Like, I used to smoke a lot of weed. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. Like, a lot. When we're talking a lot, like, I used to be a 20 a day smoker, cigarette smoker, 20 plus a day. And when I used to smoke cannabis, that used to be like 10 joints a day, and that was at like £400 a month. So I've got a lot of things to detox for myself. So I do think I will participate again. I am interested in trying their ayahuasca ceremonies as well, because they do ayahuasca ceremonies. That does involve Kambo. As far as I'm aware, it isn't included in the price. But they do say that it is advised to take Kambo before the ayahuasca to cleanse the body, which I would definitely be interested in. Now, during the eye drops, actually, they were playing music. It's all about, music is very empowering. If you've not checked out my video called Musical Magicians, music is spell work. It is a spell, okay? Certain tones, sounds, the way you articulate things. That's why we call spelling. You get taught to spellcast. The music that they play is very empowering. It puts you in a certain space of yourself that centers you and makes you realize certain things about yourself that you may not have realized before. But yeah, just off the top of my head, that is pretty much the whole thing. After the Sananga, so the eye drops, they gave us some smoothies to replenish our electrolytes, so sugars and stuff. And then did a group picture. I think that is it, off the top of my head. I did do this a few days ago. I have just taken like a couple of days to kind of process things, adjust myself. I did record my experience kind of straight after, but I was walking along a road and I didn't think the quality of it was good. But yeah, there's a lot of things that related to the emotional trauma and stuff that I'm not really going to talk about, because I don't want to attack my mum. Her actions are based on her past, her programming, the programs that she has installed inside her. So I don't really want to attack her. But she, I'm not going to say, because then that would be attacking her. But I think I'll leave that there. That is pretty much the whole Kambo ceremony and my experience with it. Yeah, that is pretty much all of it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Peace out.